Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And our expert for today, CA Sonal Jain, is backed by popular demand. Welcome to our yet again Tally CA Connect. Our today's topic of discussion is always important for all the businessmen and professionals. Our topic for today is auditing through Tally Prime. And as you may know, that a new release Tally Prime EL is now compliant with MCA notification of maintaining audit trail for companies registered under MCA. So we will also try that bit. We will try and cover that part of our new release today. She is a practicing chartered accountant. She is an active speaker on topics related to GST, audit, tally and system implementation, FTP, and customs. She has taken more than 100 sessions. She was also awarded with Young Achievers Award in CA Women Achiever Award 2018 ICA Ahmedabad. We are proud that CA Sonal Jain is a tally evangelist. I welcome you, CA Sonal, and over to you. And a note to the audience before we begin. So since we have a huge crowd here today, please write your questions on Q&A instead of chat box so that we can track and make sure that all your queries are answered. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Komalji, for such a warm welcome. So without much wait, we'll begin with the session.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm just sharing my presentation. Our topic for today will have three main things. The first is audit tactics in Tally Prime. So you all being the auditor, and as there is a March ending, we'll be doing various level of internal controls for many of our clients. So here I'll be teaching that how Tally as a tool can help you to smoothen the internal control. And specifically, as for every year we develop new accounting policy, new internal control policy. Soon we are entering the new financial year 22-23. So today I'll be teaching you few tactics in Tally which are inbuilt internal control, and if this control are implemented at your client place, it will definitely create a value addition for your clients. So we'll be learning internal controls in Tally. We'll be learning the user controls in Tally. So this is again an area which you can implement at your client place, which will smoothen their work and which will allocate proper roles and responsibility to various accountants at client place. The third thing is, I would say, the heart of today's session, that is Tally audit log feature. Rather than edit log, I would say it is more of audit log feature, and will demonstrate that entire feature, that how you can have entire trail of particular transaction in Tally, and that too not only at voucher level but also at the master level. So Tally has came up with new release 2.1, and that release has two beautiful features. One is edit log and second is digital signature. The fourth feature is as such not new, but as an auditor, it can be useful for you to access your client's data at anywhere, everywhere. So let's have a walkthrough one by one to each feature. So if you see the Tally audit feature, the first thing, like how to activate this Tally audit feature. So I have kept the snapshot of all Tally screen in this presentation. So later on, when you are actually trying this, you can even try with this snapshot. We will parallelly have the live demonstration in the Tally data. So first we are just having a process flow, then we'll move to Tally screen to understand the how it actually works. So to activate the Tally audit feature, you need to simply enable the Tally audit feature in the first screen of the first screen, that is company creation screen. And here you can see enable Tally audit feature, that is last second option. Simply mark it yes. Once you mark it yes, the Tally audit feature will get enabled. So once the Tally audit feature get enabled, you can do analysis, verification, vouching verification from Tally data. Now, what we mean by vouching verification? See, when I was article, I remember that we used to mark green tick on the audited vouchers. But here, this vouching method is something different. It is like, don't do vouching manually. You can simply mark in Tally itself that this voucher is audited. And the best part is that earlier, to keep the record of audited transaction, we used to keep the printout of paybook. We used to mark that yes, this voucher is audited. We used to make the tick mark with a green pen that this is audited. But now everything can be digitalized. You can mark that transaction audited in the backup itself. So we'll see how you can mark the transaction as audited in the backup itself. Then after, there are various exceptional report in Tally itself. Okay. Just a moment. Komal, I am audible properly. There are few messages.
Yeah, you're audible. It was just the last point they wanted you to repeat, if you could.
Okay. So friends, basically in the last point, I said that earlier you were doing audit manually. Like today also many of the chartered accountants or many of the consultants do audit manually. But my objective of today's session is to move the audit also on the digital platform, because Tally has created one wonderful report wherein you can do the transaction audit in the system itself. And the biggest benefit of this is that, okay, there is one suggestion. So that use Hindi as well. Okay. So basically Tally में आपको ट्रांजेक्शन को ऑडिट करने की फैसिलिटी दी गई है, जिससे आपके पास पूरा रिकॉर्ड रहेगा कि दिस ट्रांजेक्शंस आर ऑडिटेड. Now we will move to Tally screen, that how all this thing actually works. Komal, is Tally screen visible?
Yeah.
So friends, this is just a demo data wherein first I will show that how I have enabled Tally audit feature. So we are going to company menu, we are going to alter menu. So here you can see that I have marked enable Tally audit feature as yes. Once you mark it yes, you can do auditing through Tally. Now, from where to do auditing in Tally? So we are going to display more reports. We were at the gateway of Tally. Here we are clicking display more reports. So I have simply clicked display more report. Here at the bottom, I can find two reports or the two menus. One is exception report and one is audit analysis and verification. So when you click analysis and verification, you can see there are two more tabs, data analysis and voucher verification. So friends, these two tools in Tally can prove as your helping hand while doing audit and analysis. So whatever exercise which you are doing manually, now you can do in Tally itself. So we'll see that which are the menus available in this. So first, let's go with data analysis. So basically this data analysis and voucher verification are nothing but compliance and substantive procedure. Like we used to learn in auditing that first we do check the internal control, first we check the preliminary information, first we check the masters, and then we check the voucher. So data analysis is nothing but analysis of the masters, analysis of the prima facie documents. So I have clicked on the menu data analysis. Here you can see that it is the verification of masters. So data analysis has this many windows. First one is verification of charts of accounts. That means masters of the company. Then there is a verification of stock item. Here the backup which I have selected is other than stock company. That's why this option is disabled. The third is verification of balances. Fourth is analytical procedure, means any ratio analysis if you want to do, you can do in Tally itself. Generally, when auditor is doing audit or checking the internal control of any company, they used to do analysis of the various ratios like sales is to profit, profit is to advertisement expense. There can be various comparisons. This comparison can be done in Tally itself. Then there are many reports in such a manner. So we are going with one by one menu. The first one is verification of charts of accounts. So friends, if you remember, whenever a company internal control is to be tested, the first prima facie thing is to be tested is the master creation and how uniform the masters are. So when you are checking the masters, this menu will help you to check your masters in a more precise and accurate way. Generally, when an auditor is doing ledger scrutiny, they used to do with the display account book ledger. But here I would say that instead of display account book ledger scrutiny should be done from this menu, that is verification of charts of accounts, because this menu segregate your all the ledgers into different parts, and this make auditor work easier, faster, simpler, more accurate, and more reliable. So let's see how it works. So here for this company, all the ledgers are segregated into 5 parts. The first is the ledgers which are squared off during the year. So for any company, if you want to derive in one click that how many ledgers are squared off within 1 year, this report gives you entire list. So here as an auditor, you can simply derive this list. You can simply take the printout of this list and give to your client that please tell me that why these ledgers are squared off, what is the reason behind them, and you can simply trace if there is any suspicious thing or not. Then these are the ledger which are not used during the year. So this is unnecessarily increasing your backup size, unnecessarily creating the double ledgers. So you can tell your client to delete these ledgers. So these are not used ledger. So from this list, you can simply create an audit observation that these are unnecessary, unused ledger. Remove this ledger. Then these are the ledger which are not used in current year. So here as an auditor, you can make a point that why these ledgers are not used during the year. What is the reason of no transaction in this ledgers during the year? Then these are the ledgers wherein continuously there is running balance. So for example, there is a VAT deposit of 20,000 and it is continuously having a running balance. Then I being auditor can simply ask a query to management that is this deposit still intact? And if it is still there, give me the receipt of VAT deposit. Same way income tax refund, then I can ask to management that whether this refund is still receivable. So from this report, you can make various queries to management and these queries will lead to value addition to company. And the last one are used only in current year. So these are the ledgers which are created in current year. So here as an auditor, your role would be to check that whether these ledgers are created accurately. For example, they have created one ledger called Chandan Novelities. So here, if this is a data ledger or creditor ledger, I need to ensure whether the registration information in this ledger is accurate, whether bank detail of this ledger is accurate, whether concerned person detail in this ledger is accurate or not. So my role increases for this many ledger because these are the ledger which are used only in current year. So I need to invest more time in this ledger. So if you see, the entire ledger book has so many ledger, 200, 300. There are in all 300 ledgers. But as an auditor, I need to invest more time in this 8 ledger. For this 17 ledger, I need to ensure that whether balance is still intact. For this 229 ledger, I don't need to invest much time. For this 38 ledger, I need to just ask whether they are not used in current year. And for this 11 ledger, I need to take a confirmation whether they are squared off or not. So you can see that normal ledger scrutiny takes lots of time because you can see that normal ledger scrutiny takes lots of time because you need to open each ledger one by one. But this ledger scrutiny doesn't take much time because your ledgers are segregated in different parts. So I hope that this time when you are doing ledger scrutiny, you can do through this. There is one question, how it will convert into verification in Tally. So friends, basically verification in Tally, it is not converted. In your existing backup, you need to simply enable this feature. Tally is not doing anything with the data. It is as it is. See, I've opened the P&L. This is profit and loss. There is no change in this. I am just auditing this P&L through this menu called more report, display more report, analysis and verification. So here, this menu doesn't have any impact on your accounting transaction. This menu is purely and purely for your auditing purpose and for your documentation purpose. Okay, now there is a question how it will mark the transaction or voucher. So that we are seeing that how I can select that transactions are audited. So first let me complete this menu, then we'll see that how transaction are audited. So here we saw verification of charts of accounts. Same way verification of balances, like opening balance verification. So you can even compare company for opening balance verification, like you can compare last year data for opening balance verification. Then analytical procedure. So as I said that you can do any level of comparison. So suppose I am comparing ledger with ledger. So taking base ledger as sales. And compare with say expense. Say income tax expense. So you can see there is a ratio analysis. They are comparing the income tax expense with the sales. So this is how you can do comparison of any ledger with any group versus any ledger, ledger versus ledger. All type of comparison is possible. Same way, this is again interesting report, a relative size factor, wherein Tally gives you facility to ensure that, to check that which ledger has more gravity. For example, for this ledger, there is a 7.75 relative size factor, means the highest value transaction is 21,000 and lowest value is 2,000. So Tally is tracing those ledger which are having huge gap. So you can see how relative size factor is calculated, highest value divided by lowest value. This is again interesting, transaction on holidays. So if you want to see that whether any transaction is done on holiday, you can trace from this report. Generally, this report is useful when particular entity are posting fake invoice on Sunday. Say Sunday office was off and still wrong expenses are put on Sunday. So if you want to trace a transaction on particular day, you can trace it. Now, many a time there are chances that Sunday is not on holiday. In fact, another day is holiday. Then you can change the week off. Like for this company, Thursday is week off. Then all transaction on Thursday will get displayed. So see, all Thursday transaction are displayed. Now, if you want to change the holiday configuration and you want to add that there are various festival leave also. Say if you want to add 15th August and it is say Independence Day, then even transaction on Independence Day will get displayed. So you can define your own holidays and you can trace the transaction on holidays. So you can see weekly, week off has came. Now, there was someone who was asking that how to do auditing. So you can see here this transaction is verified. So suppose I want to audit this transaction. So what I can simply do, I found this transaction as suspicious. So I will simply click, I will write on hold and I will write, I need supporting document. So this gets saved in Tally itself. Now suppose for this transaction I am fine with, so I will write verified. Suppose for this transaction I want external clarification, need proof and approval. From whom you want? So I want from any person. Same way for this transaction, I doubt. So I want to keep on hold. So you can see that Tally is giving facility to mark the voucher. You can mark the voucher in 4 categories, whether it is on hold, external clarification, internal observation, and verified. And this gets saved in Tally. Like whenever you will click this report, you can see this recommends and you can even export this report and keep the Excel in your backup. in your folder or as a part of your audit documentation. So this was a compliance procedure. Now we are moving to substantive procedure. So when we are moving to substantive procedure, so say voucher creation. So for substantive procedure, there is a menu called voucher verification. Yes, there was one question that verification of charts of accounts में कैसे verification होगा? So I'm here at verification of charts of accounts. Here मुझे है ना इस ledger में suppose doubt है, I want to see the GST certificate. So I will click here. I will write on hold. Need GST certificate. So ये इसमें on hold चला गया है और इसकी comment भी आ गई है. Same way for this, I am writing verified. You're verified. So आप जैसे आपने ट्रांजेक्शन को वाउचिंग किया वैसे आप मास्टर्स को वाउचिंग कर सकते हो. Same way for squared off during the year, you want to verify, you can verify. You want to write comment, you can write comment. तो वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ चार्ट्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, यहाँ पे आपको सारे वाउचर्स इसके दिखेंगे कंपनी के. सो फॉर दिस पीरियड कंपनी इज हैविंग 133 ट्रांजैक्शन. और ये भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है जो बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता होगा कि टैली गिव्स यू फैसिलिटी टू सैंपल द डेटा. So all of us know that as a part of our audit, we need to give the proof that how we have sampled our data. And we need to even keep a documentation that this is the basis of my data sampling. और वो कई बार मैन्युअली रह जाता है, कई बार हम ऐसे ही बोल देते हैं कि अप्रैल ऑडिट कर दो, मई ऑडिट कर दो, दिस इज हाउ. बट हियर Tally gives you a facility of methods of sampling and documenting that method. And Tally is giving you all possible methods. So if I see for say purchase, there are 21 transactions and I want to do sampling. So for that, I need to simply select the purchase and there is one option called sample configuration. I'm clicking the sample configuration. And once I click this sample configuration, I can see this many methods available for sampling. So first one is all voucher, then is amount range, then is Benford analysis, even number voucher, odd number voucher, specific period, specific voucher. So there are so many methods available for sampling of vouchers. Now for this, suppose I'm selecting even number voucher. So you can see that on even number vouchering, 10 vouchers are selected as sample voucher. From that, one is already verified. So say for those 10 voucher, I want to do auditing. So I will simply click on that 10 voucher window. And you can see 10 vouchers are derived. Now for this 10 voucher, I want to do auditing. So I have verified. This is extra verification. So this is how the auditing is possible, and you again simply export it, save it as an audit documentation. Okay, there is one question that इसमें 3 नंबर क्यों आ रहा है? तो सर ये 3 नंबर का वाउचर पहले से ऑडिट किया हुआ था. So this was part of earlier sampling. जो मैंने पहले सैम्पलिंग सिलेक्ट की हुई थी उसमें ये ऑलरेडी ऑडिट किया हुआ था. ये दोनों मैन्युअली सैंपल्ड है. ये देखो, दिस आर मैन्युअली सैंपल जो मैंने खुद से सिलेक्ट किए थे. और फिर जो वापस हमने फॉर्मूला से सिलेक्ट किए वो सब बॉडी है 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So Tally is telling me कि ये 2 वाउचर मैंने रिमूव नहीं किए क्योंकि आपने ये पहले से ऑडिट किए हुए थे. I hope the doubt is cleared. Okay, there is one question. How does it looks when you export? So I am simply exporting it. It will look as a normal Excel, the way we export. Just a moment. I am showing how it gets exported. Okay. Meanwhile, there are various other sampling methods also. So you can see that for this sampling, there are two methods selected, even number plus manual sampling. So there are other method also. Say there is one method called Benford analysis. So basically, this Benford analysis is a technical method wherein sampling is done based on particular random number sampling. So say for this, I'm selecting Benford analysis. I'm selecting negative. I'm going to sample voucher. Here you can see Benford details also. So when I'm clicking Benford details, it will tell me that which type of frequency you want to select. So say I'm changing the frequency. So again, the sample voucher gets changed. Again, I'm changing the frequency. So this is a science proven scientific method wherein transactions are selected based on a frequency. So say these three vouchers are selected and I am verifying this voucher. So you can keep a proof that for this voucher type, you have selected the banking Benford analysis method. Now, there are other methods also called manual sampling. Okay, there is one doubt that to repeat Benford analysis. So basically, Benford is a random number sampling wherein the sampling is done based on a scientific method. So say for sales, I want to select Benford analysis. So based on sample configuration, you can select this method called Benford analysis. You can select any negative or positive. So this is basically a linear curve method where you want to have the variance on negative side or positive side. So I'm clicking negative and I'm simply doing enter, and you can see that out of 62 transactions, 15 transactions are selected as Benford analysis transaction. And here also, as earlier two vouchers were selected, so they are manually sampled and other are Benford sampled. And simply audit based on the manner you want to audit. So this is how sampling is done. And you can do entire auditing through this method, documenting your entire audit work. And there was someone who was asking me that how it looks like. So I'll show you how it looks like. So I hope the Excel screen is visible. Like it looks like anything which is exported from Tally the same way. There is no much variation. It will show the verification status and verification note. This query list you can simply email to your client and he will resolve. Is Excel visible?
Yes.
Okay, so we are now clear with the auditing through Tally. Yeah, again moving to the Tally screen. Sorry, we are moving to the presentation screen. So now we are clear with auditing through Tally. We saw both data analysis and voucher verification. We saw all this masters verification of charts of accounts, balances, relative size factor, transaction on holidays. We even saw how sampling data looks like percentage of sampling, various methods of sampling. Okay, there is one question that how we verify the balances. So verifying the balance is as simple like you take your last year audit report and that closing would be this year opening. If it is getting matched, simply mark that yes, it is audited. If it is not getting matched, you need to mark the query. So this verification of balances is nothing but to ensure the opening balances, which we generally do manually, but Tally gives you facility to do in Tally itself. So I'll just switching to Tally screen. So here verification of balances, for this you can simply mark whether this this balance is matching or not. So here, as it is a running backup, there are no variances. Means like my backup is a continuous backup. I have the last year data also in this backup. So there is no variance. But if there is a difference, it will let you know, like you have only 1 year data. Say it is for 21-22 only. Then you can simply compare last year company. Like you can put the path and Tally will give you balance variance. So say your last year accounting is done in another backup, this year accounting is done in another backup, and you want to match opening, simply use the option compare company and Tally will give you variance. Here, as I am having continuous backup, there is no variance. Yes, you can again update the comments, like for any given day, if you want, like if you want to again change the comment, modify the comment modification is possible. So let's move to another feature. There is one more feature called exception report. Here Tally gives you facility of all the exception report to have a glance all together. So say for particular company, you want to check all optional vouchers, simply come to this menu. If you want to check all cancelled voucher, come to this menu. If you want to trace negative ledgers, like ledgers having balances other than their actual balances, means generally payable has a credit balance, but if payable is having debit balance, it will come here. So say SGST is a payable account but having debit balance, that's why coming in exceptional report. Negative stock, if a particular stock is having negative balance, it will come in this report, and here as an auditor you can simply ask the management that why a particular stock is going negative. Overdue receivable, overdue payable, these two reports are very much useful when you are doing GST or where you are doing TDS, because if a particular transaction is overdue in payable, you need to reverse the input credit like more than 180 days. If a particular transaction is payable, you need to reverse the input credit. Now we are moving to, okay, there is one question from Santosh Ji that can we attach vendor bills also in Tally to verify audit during verification? So document attachment facility is not available in inbuilt in by default Tally, but there are various add-ons available in the market. These add-ons are like available at a price of 800 to 1000 to 1500. You can buy those add-on and you can attach any voucher, any bill with the transaction. So moving on to next part of my session, again sharing the presentation screen. So we are on the presentation screen. Now we are coming to second part of the session. Okay, there is one question from Rajesh Parmar that how to derive report for bill-wise data's outstanding report. So for bill-wise data outstanding report, I'll just show you the demonstration. Okay, there is my question that how company will be able to reply query raised by auditor. So Vandana ji, company can reply the queries by resolving, and then auditor can mark that transaction is being verified. Is there any audit trail for rectification or authority for deletion of transaction? So this rectification and deletion of transaction audit trail, this will be taking in today's session. As I said that in new release 2.1, Tally has came up with feature called audit log. In this feature, you can trace deleted transaction, modified transaction, altered transaction. So we are coming to second part of the session, that is audit controls, or rather I can say user controls. Okay, Venkatesh ji has asked a question that how do we do random sampling in Tally? So as I said that you can do random sampling in Tally by selecting option manually sampling, or you can even try Benford analysis, because Benford analysis is a scientific random sampling method. There is one question from Anupreeti ji. Here the question is, how do we do bank reconciliation in Tally? So for bank reconciliation, I would suggest to use auto bank reconciliation feature available in Tally, by which you can simply import the bank statement of your bank and Tally will do reconciliation at its own. There is one question from Maria ji. How can we import sales and purchase bill through Excel? So for importing sales and purchase through Excel, you need to have certain tools, and for that we can have a separate sessions also. Okay, there is a question from Anil ji that how we can see the audit log. So I know you all are waiting for audit log feature, but that I'll be taking in next 10 minutes once I complete with the user log. Okay, so we are now at the user level control. So this feature of Tally is again interesting, because here as a auditor you can define. There is a question from Santosh ji that can we draft balance sheet as per schedule 3 in Tally? Then yes, to certain level you can define balance sheet as per schedule 3. Not 100%, but to a great extent Tally can help you to prepare balance sheet under schedule 3. So we are now coming to our topic, that is user level controls in Tally. As I said at the beginning of the session, that user level control in Tally is again an important feature, because under this feature you can assign rights roles for your client, and this will help your client to ensure the accuracy in the data. Because if the company comes to know that who has done the alteration, who has done this posting, company can define the responsibility, and if there is a responsibility definition, person will hesitate in doing mistakes or doing errors. So how you can define the user controls in Tally? So for that there is a menu called user management in Tally. Here you can define n number of users, n number of passwords, you can define their roles, you can define the password policy. So let's see how it works. So I'm just coming to the Tally screen now. I hope Tally screen is visible. Okay, so now the menu which I was telling is the user control. For that, you just need to go to company menu. Here you can see the second menu called user management. There is third menu in the second menu, third sub menu called users and password. So when I'm clicking users and password, you can see that based on the role, I can define the username and password. So if you say for my company, I want the salesperson to do only sales transaction. He should not be allowed to see my balance sheet. He should not be allowed to see my bank. He should not be allowed to see my purchase. Because many a time as a company, you need to have the confidentiality that my salesperson should not know my revenue, should not know my purchase price, everything. So if you want to have that level of security in Tally, it is possible. So how it is possible? You just need to define a sales role, define the username and password. So say for the sales menu, I have defined the role. So for defining the role, you need to go to company menu. There is a sub menu called user management. It has another sub menu called user roles. So when I'm clicking user roles, here there is one security which I have already created. So how it is created? Simply click on the sales, like simply if I'm clicking creating again. So simply click here sales. Here which type of security you want to give. So I want this person to be a data entry person. He should not be having owner rights. So he's a data entry person. Can he do backdated voucher? So if you can do backdated voucher, I need to specify the days, but I don't want him to do backdated voucher. You can even define the cutoff date over here. You can even define whether he can save this report, whether he can export this report, etc. You can even define that whether he can print this, he cannot print, etc. This is again in this I'll be taking again. So after that, you need to specify that which facility you don't want to give him, which facility you want to disallow him, and which facility you want to allow him. So say I want to disallow him all vouchers and that to all rights, full access of all vouchers, full access to all masters, full access to all inventory vouchers, full access to all inventory masters. So friends, I'm restricting it. I am disallowing him this access. So now he would not be allowed to do any of this. But now I want him to create sales voucher. So he can simply do sales voucher creation, nothing else. So he can create sales voucher. This type of security I have already created. So this thing he can do. So say for this security, say for this sales security, I have already created a user. If you see user and password, I've created salesperson and the password is also sales. Now, currently we are logging in this Tally through main menu. That is my user ID. That is main admin ID. Now, let's log into this from this salesperson user ID. So we just need to change user. You can see that in my window, this is my menu. You can see that I can see balance sheet. I can see profit and loss account. I can see stock analysis. In my report, we can see all this thing. But now let's see how the menu looks like for the sales user. So I'm changing the user. So this is salesperson window. You can see that all these reports are disabled. I cannot see balance sheet, P&L, everything. You can go to voucher. Okay, as I have restricted the backdated voucher, it is not allowing me to even do access. Just let me correct it. So see, I have entered this. As I have changed the date to today's date, it is allowing me to post the voucher. And you can see that all these menus are disabled. I cannot put contra, payment, receipt, nothing. In other voucher also, I cannot put any voucher because I am allowed to post only sales voucher. I cannot even create party. See, if I am clicking Alt C, If I'm clicking Alt C, it is telling me no access allowed. So I cannot do master creation. I cannot post any other voucher. I can simply post sales voucher, and that too in current date. So if I am clicking on voucher and if I am posting the date, say 20 March, so say for example, I'm clicking the just a moment. Just a moment. I'm again sharing the screen. My tally got closed. Just a moment. So there is one question in the chat box. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm taking one question as my tally screen is getting open. My question was how the company will reply in the tally symbol. Meanwhile, we are coming to the tally presentation screen. So friends, we saw that how we can have user controls in tally. How you can assign roles and responsibility to accountants, how you can make your accounting more reliable and accurate. Through user controls, even backdated transaction can be restricted. We just saw that Tally was not allowing me to post backdated transaction. This is again interesting. Many a times your accountant is doing mistake by posting all entries on account basis. Like in spite of the fact that we tell him that do bill to bill, but he will post on account basis. So if you want to eliminate this on account feature, Tally is giving you facility to restrict on account. And this on account feature restriction is there in user control menu only. So we'll see that where this on account feature get blocked. You can even block the printing rights and email rights. Like many a time you find that accountant is doing cheating by sharing your data somewhere, by printing the data, by emailing the data. Then in the user control menu, you can restrict the printing right, you can restrict the email right. There is one more option to set the cutoff date for backdated transaction. This cutoff date process is very much useful when you are freezing the backup after the audit. Like after 31st March, you want backup to be freeze, no entry should be posted in the financial year 2021. Then cutoff date procedure can be very much helpful. So all this is available in by default Tally. No need to buy any. So meanwhile, I'm sharing the Tally screen. We can take the question answers for user controls. There is one question from Snehal ji that how we can import bank statement. It is there in the bank menu itself in Tally. I'll just show you how you can import the bank statement in Tally. Now we are coming to the most crucial part of today's session, that is Tally audit log or Tally edit log. So friends, this is a roadmap of Tally audit. Tally came up with VAT feature in Tally, then it came up with GST, then it came up with e-invoicing. Now through Tally, e-invoice is a matter of second. And now Tally is ready with the audit trail feature. So if we see that the moment government comes with any amendment, any change, Tally get itself ready with all the amendments and every change. So as we all are aware that for all the companies, it's mandatory to have an audit trail feature or to keep audit trail for all the transactions from 1st April 2022. And Tally is ready with that. So any company to whom this feature is applicable or to whom this compliance is applicable, they can simply buy the new Tally version 2.1, which comes with Tally audit log feature or Tally edit log feature, EL. So let's see how it works. So this is nothing but audit trail edit log feature. It came up with so and so notification dated 24th March 2021 stating that all companies need to compulsory have audit trail for their transactions and effective from 1st of April 2022. Earlier it was effective on April 2021, but later on it was amended and it was told to be effective from 2022. So let's see how it works. So Tally says that Tally Prime edit log hai to audit trail easy hai. So as government mandates to have audit trail, so what Tally is telling that if you are having Tally edit log, the audit trail becomes easier, faster, reliable. Okay, moving to the next part. Friends, this is something new. This logo is something new. The basic Tally Prime logo looks like this, but Tally audit log feature has a symbol called EL on that logo. So if a particular company has a mandatory provision to have an audit log, like you need to compulsory have an edit log, in that scenario, you can download this new version of Tally called Tally EL, Tally edit log. And if a particular company voluntarily wants to have an edit log for their internal control purpose, for their quality monitoring purpose, then in the normal Tally Prime, they can enable this feature. The biggest difference between both this thing is that when you are having EL, this Tally don't allow you to disable Tally audit trail. Means you need to compulsory run that trail and Tally don't give any facility to alter that, because MCA provision clearly says that there should not be any alteration and there should be a continuous audit trail. So when as per government law, it is mandatory to have an audit trail. In that scenario, by the download this Tally EL and use this Tally EL. This is recommended for the companies who are mandatory as per law required to have a Tally audit trail. Now take a scenario. It is not mandatory as per law to have a Tally audit trail, but for a quality monitoring purpose, for internal control purpose, or for responsibility allocation, for authority allocation, you want to have an audit trail. In that case, in a normal Tally Prime, you can enable this edit log feature. So how it works? As I said that I have kept the snapshot of all this thing, but we'll be having a live demonstration too. How to enable Tally audit log? So it is as simple as that. Go to company menu, alter the company information, and you can see one menu called enable edit log. Friends, this feature is there in latest release which came day before, that is in release 2.1. In earlier release this is not there. So if you want to see this feature, just upgrade your Tally. You just need to have valid TSS. There are no additional charges for that. Just upgrade your Tally and move to release 2.1, and you can see this new feature, enable edit log. So once you enable the edit log, Tally will pop up with a message called, now onwards, Tally Prime will keep a log of all the activities such as creation, alteration, deletion for masters and vouchers. Additionally, all vouchers typed with automatic numbering will move to manual override, because as Tally will be keeping a audit log, edit log, it's not possible with automatic numbering. So Tally will change the method to automatic manual override. Now this is again interesting, that how you can see the edit log. So to see the edit log, you need to simply click Alter Q. We'll see this in live backup, that how this works. Okay. There is one question that can we cancel the log for non-companies after implementation? Yes, for the companies where it is not mandatory, you can cancel the log by simply disabling the feature. And when you enable it again, the feature gets enabled. So for the non-companies, in the normal Tally Prime, you can enable the log feature. And whenever you don't want, you simply disable. So let's move to Tally screen and to have a live demonstration of this audit log. I hope Tally screen is visible to all of you.
Yes.
There is one question from Rahul ji. Can we done whole year accounting after closing financial in audit transaction? Yes, you can do entire accounting in audit trail function, by which you can have a log of each transaction, like when a particular transaction is posted, when it is altered, why it is altered, when it is deleted. The log is for everything. Like we'll see that what level of log Tally is keeping. There is a question from Mamta ji that edit log is mandatory for which companies? So Mamta ji, it is applicable for all the companies. The notification simply says that applicable for all the companies. So from 1st April, as per government norms, you need to have a feature wherein you are keeping the audit trail. Right. There is one question, the suggestion from Darshan ji from Tally that advisable to use regular Tally Prime if you are not under mandate of having the compliance, but when it is mandatory by law, use the Tally EL, edit log 1. Okay, now Amol ji has a query that where I can see the log. So without much wait, let's have the demonstration of Tally log. I think so many of you might be seeing for the first time. So first, let's see where this feature get enabled. So I am at the company menu screen. I am clicking on alter menu, clicking on the company. So you can see that there is one feature called enable edit log. If you are not finding this feature, simply select F12 and simply mark yes for enable edit log, set edit log applicability. And this feature will come only and only when you are updated to release 2.1. So how to update? Simply go to F1, help menu and upgrade. So once you click on upgrade, it will get upgraded. Now in my case, the Tally is already upgraded. I don't need to upgrade it again. So how we can find? Simply at alter menu, data, enable edit log. I have marked it yes. Now how it works? Say I'm going to daybook. This is my daybook. I want to say change this 1500 transaction to 2000. So I am changing this transaction to 2000. So I have changed this transaction. Now I want to see that when this transaction was altered. So I'm clicking this transaction. There is an option called related report. And here you can see alter Q, edit log. So simply open the transaction, press alter Q, and you can see this log. So how it went? It went like this was a previous transaction. Then it was altered and it was altered to 1500. Then it was again altered from 1500 to 2000. So the chain of this transaction went like this. On first, it was entered with value of 2000. On 4th Feb, it was again altered at 6/3 by Mr. Prem, and he altered this transaction to 1500. Now this is again altered by admin, and it is altered on at 4 o'clock 4/4, and it is altered on 23rd March, and it is altered to 2000. So see how nicely Tally is giving entire alteration report. Again, I'm showing how you can find the altered report. Simply open the transaction, click on related report, or simply click alter Q, enter it, you can see entire trail. Now move to another transaction. Say for this transaction, you are changing the voucher number to A and simply saving it. So again, open it, alter Q, You can see that this transaction has so many alterations. First, it was created due to import, like it was imported, then resaved due to import, altered due to import, altered status optional, altered, and now again altered. So the last alteration was due to 2 versus 2A. You can see that you can see entire version, like this transaction has totally not 6 versions. I request participants to mark the question in Q&A rather than marking it in the chat box. So see, for this transaction also it was created and then it got altered. Now, if you want to see all altered voucher together, that is possible, and that is possible through simply basis of view. So when you want to see all vouchers all together, like all voucher alteration report all together, then simply click on basis of view. Here Tally will show you 3 menu. One is show report for all vouchers altered as well as non-altered. Here you can find only altered, only non-altered. You want to include one the deleted voucher, then that facility is also there in Tally. Like yes, I want to include the deleted voucher. Types of voucher entry like accounting voucher, inventory vouchers. So here I want all vouchers. So simply save it, Control A, and you can see that now I can see the log of delete vouchers also. So for this deleted voucher, it was created, then it was altered, then it was deleted. Same way, created and deleted, created and deleted. So you can see that is keeping of log of creation as well as deletion. It is a keeping a log of, for cancel voucher, it will just show that this is the cancellation. For created as well as deleted, it will show how it was created, how it was deleted. So here it was created, here the transaction was resaved and transaction was altered. What it was altered, the place of receipt was changed, motor vehicle was changed, stock item name was changed. So you can see that Tally is not only recording alteration in terms of value, but also in terms of description, name, city, vehicle number, etc. So as simple as that, simply go to the transaction, simply click related report or alter Q to have the log. For entire company log or entire day book log, simply have basis of view values and have a report included a deleted voucher and see the entire report altogether. Now this audit log is even available for the masters. Now you'll be wondering that why for masters? So meanwhile, I'm taking few of the questions. Okay, Santosh ji has asked a question that in small companies, all the accounting is done at the end of the year only. Whether it is possible in EL tally and will it be reflected in exception report? Then yes, it is possible. See, the difference between EL tally and tally prime is simple. In EL tally, you don't have facility to stop audit log. Means it will run perpetually as because MCA requirement, the company law requirement that company need to mandatory have audit log feature. So this EL tally is in parallel with the government requirement. And if you want to enjoy the EL feature of audit log in normal tally prime, you have this facility of enabling and disabling the whenever you require. So to disable, say for this data, as it is not a government company, I want to disable the this feature. I can simply come here and I can simply mark it no. But in EL tally, there is no such facility. Once enabled, it is enabled for perpetual. There is one more question. How a consolidated audit trail for all vouchers can be generated? So as of now, Tally don't have that facility of to have a consolidated audit trail. But yes, in the daybook, you can see all the transactions which have been altered or which has been deleted. As we saw in daybook, like I'm coming to daybook. I can see all the transactions which are being altered in this basis of value. Like I want to see altered transactions. So these are the transactions which has been altered. I can see all vouchers together. Can we view the audit log? Yes, we can. Where can we view this audit log? Then we saw you can view this audit log simply by going inside the transaction and clicking on the report, related report. So by just alter Q feature in the transaction, you can view the audit log report. What does it mean, the version? So version, it means simply Tally has came up with new version with audit log feature. So that means with the version. Okay, Ashok ji, I didn't got your question. You said that change कर सकते हैं हम से backdated voucher. Okay. CAS Nataranji has a query whether log will be deleted by disabling the log facility. No, log will not be deleted. Once you enable, you can again see that. So log will be there in Tally. So if I mark it disable, no, earlier log gets saved, but new log will not be created. Once you again enable, the new log will be created. So say for today, I have done this audit log enable. Now I don't want audit log for tomorrow's transaction. So I will disable this. I will do the accounting. Then again day after tomorrow, I will enable. One question is from Jyoti ji. Is it mandatory to use create function in audit log function, audit trail function? User create function. No, necessary, not necessary to do create user for audit trail function. Anupriti ji, if suppose we delete any entry created, as he asked about that entry, but we forgot about it, is the option to see contain entry we deleted. Yes, you can see the entry deleted. As I showed that this entry was deleted, I can see that what it is created. So for example, I delete this transaction, 8,000 transactions I export. I can see this transaction, see. So you can see this transaction. Okay, after updating Tally, we are not able to see edit log feature. You need to simply mark F12 and enable audit log feature for seeing the audit log feature. As I showed you in the company menu, like you will get the audit log feature after update in this menu, alter data, simply mark F12 and simply mark yes, audit log feature applicability, yes. Okay, there is one question from Bhavina ji that if we enable disable audit log option, audit log will be applied. No, it will not be applied retrospectively. It will be applicable from the date you are making it effective. Basically, this enabling, disabling audit log, you cannot say that it is a part of audit log, but it would be apparent that for this many days there is no log. That means there is some change, alteration to that. And if you are complying audit log in context to government perspective, I would say to use Tally EL rather than normal Tally Prime, because government mandate it to have compulsory audit trail without any alteration or without any disable or enable thing. It should be perpetual. So if you are having a company where audit log is mandatory, audit trail is mandatory, use the EL Tally Audit Prime. Because government want it to be enabled for forever. Okay, there is one question from Jatin ji that not showing to us in F12 feature. Then I think that Jatin ji, you have not updated Tally, because it should be shown, like you should see find that in F12 feature in company creation.
just Sonaji, it will be seen in regular tally only. EL tally के अंदर वो नहीं दिखाई देगा. तो if they are
हाँ
using,
right. If you have downloaded EL tally तो नहीं दिखेगा because EL tally is a by default feature. So if it is EL tally, there is no point of enabling. It is enabled forever. If you are having normal tally prime, you need to enable it. Okay, Akshay ji, there is a question. We are not getting edit log enable feature. Then as I said that it will not be there to enable because tally EL prime has by default enablement of this feature. So no need to enable. It is by default enabled. Okay, now we are coming to masters. We saw with the vouchers. So friends, the way we can see the voucher master alteration, we can now see even the, so the way we saw, friends, someone asked no that whether we can see tally enable, audit log enable, disable every at company level report. Then yes, we can see that company level report also. Simply go to company menu. There is one feature called edit log. So you can see that company data moved, edit log disabled, edit log enabled, company moved to tally prime, company moved to tally edit log. So this is how entire trail is there with date and time. Now I'm moving to see how we can have the alteration report for masters. Saurabh ji, if the backup is moved to tally EL, that backup will be working in tally EL only. You cannot again shift that backup to normal tally prime. Then you need to do accounting everything in that EL only. And you cannot have that 3 executive working in EL and 2 executive working in other normal tally prime. Everyone need to work in EL only. Okay. Now master creation. So say for this bank ledger, I'm adding address. Now I want to see the log for this bank ledger. Then simply related report, edit log. So you can see that this ledger was created by Mehta and this is altered by admin. I altered it by adding the address. Same way for this any ledger like adding the PIN code. I'm changing the PAN. Now I want to see the log. So related report, edit log. So you can see that this ledger was created due to imports, resaved due to import, altered due to import, altered, resaved, altered. Now last alteration I did, I put the PIN code, I kept the PAN number, and alteration will be highlighted in red color. So this transaction was this ledger was created. It was altered by name change, then it was again altered by again name change. So when you go with the list of accounts, basis of view, you can find all altered voucher all together. So this were the ledgers which were deleted. This were the ledgers which were altered. So you can see entire log of deleted voucher altogether. Like this was created and this was deleted, created and deleted. These are the vouchers which are altered. So it was created, security not enabled, this was altered, this was again resaved, related report, alter queue, created and altered, Bombay Central. So this is how for both vouchers as well as for ledgers. You can see the edit log in the voucher as well as ledger through alter queue. You can even see consolidated edit log for all the transaction in the day book on basis of view. You can even see consolidated master edit log in list of accounts. So this is how it works. It works for both inventory voucher as well as for accounting voucher. It even works for inventory masters as well as accounting masters. Now moving to question answers. There is one question from BS Venkateshji that can we see audit log for a period? Then yes, simply change the tally period the way you check any report in tally. There is one question from Jyoti ji that what is the difference between tally prime and tally EL prime? So as such, no major difference except one that EL prime has an inbuilt feature of tally edit log wherein you cannot disable edit log. It runs perpetual. It is for those companies where it is mandatory as per government to have edit log. So when it is mandatory as per government to have edit log, this feature is useful. You need to install tally EL prime. There is one question. I have purchased Tele Prime, whether I need to purchase EL separately if government compliance needed. Then yes, actually purchase is not needed. If you have a updated TSS, you can simply download it and use that same serial number. No need to incur any additional cost. Tally has given it free of cost. You just need to have a valid TSS subscription. There is one question from Anupreet ji. If in small company accounting is done, this is already answered. In tally only for sales billing, then it is okay for company. Okay. I mean audit log containing activity history like, oh yes, audit log has all the activity history of creation of master, creation of voucher we just saw in tally. Yes, Naresh ji, the new version is available now. You can go to the Tally website and download this 2.1 version and enjoy this audit log feature. Can you please share one example of edit log in inventory voucher? Then yes, we can share the example. There is no question that yes, the Bhavika ji, the trail will be recorded because as I showed you that in company menu also there is edit log feature. So when we go to edit log feature, it will show that the edit log was disabled, edit log was enabled. So anyone will come to know that for this period between 4th Feb 18 for 1 minute the feature was disabled. So yes, it will have a date log along with time log. There is one question for inventory voucher. So I just need to enable inventory. So I just saved this stock journal. So I'm editing it. I want to see the related report for this. You can see that it was created. It is altered. The alteration are marked in yellow. So yes, this is how you can have the log for this also. So this is how you can walk through entire audit log feature and enjoy this facility of edit log. And this Tally edit log feature even support Tally Prime server. Simply upgrade your TSS and enjoy this facility for free. Tally is not charging any additional cost for this. I hope most of all the questions are answered as such.
Sonal ji, so I think there are a few raised hands, so we can now ask them.
Right.
Yeah. Ashok ji, you ask a question. Sonal ji, please drink some water. You've been speaking amazingly for the past 1.5 hours.
Yes.
I think Ashok ji is not here. Anil ji, you have a question to ask?
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. First of all, thanks, Sonal ma'am, for the nice presentation and the way you explained. My certain queries regarding this edit log that basically, as you will understand, that clients come to us with accounts in pen drive or email. If some company audit comes to us and they are maintaining their accounts in Tally Prime EL, and we have the software of regular Tally, then that data will be can be opened in our Tally also. That is the first query.
Okay. So for that, you need to have Tally EL in your system also. Like you can use one serial number for both EL and normal Tally. Only problem is that you cannot parallelly open one backup in both EL and normal Tally. If the backup is moved to EL, you need to open that in EL only.
Means as a professional, we have to maintain both the tallies as well, EL as well as the normal ones.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely that would only be solution, right?
Okay, chaliye, it means the both the things. And secondly, ma'am, if means just asking for that, ki if system date hasn't been changed, will that log will not result in a proper description if my system dates are different or the auditees system dates are not as per the normal mode? Can it affect the audit trail?
In that scenario, yes, like system date should be accurate.
Yeah, because if I just control the system dates, because things are just means Tally management has nothing to do with it, but will this edit log feature may have adverse impact during the assessment proceedings if these alterations and backdated transactions will be also looked after by the assessing officers also?
That is again a case-to-case scenario, but as government is mandating to keep a log, now we cannot take a fear that what stand government will take. As it is mandatory by government, we need to keep this log now. We don't have any.
Yeah, but it may be subject to chaliye. Anyway, thanks for the thing, but just want to say ki if in that this as an auditor means if we have normal this Tally Prime, in that this EL will also be get opened, so it will be well, nahi to otherwise we have to two means applications we have to install in our computer.
We need to install 2 application. That was I supposed to, like, I feel this would be only a solution.
Okay, okay, okay. Chaliye, thanks a lot.
He has something to say. Darshan, you are telling anything?
Yeah.
सर had one question that कि EL का डेटा अगर मुझे नॉर्मल टैली के अंदर ओपन करना है तो आप ओपन कर सकते हो, दिक्कत नहीं आएगी आपको. वहां पे माइग्रेशन रिक्वायर्ड का एक ऑप्शन आएगा, आपको आप माइग्रेट कर दोगे. ओके, लेकिन वहां पे वो डेटा के अंदर ये कैप्चर जरूर होगा कि ये EL प्रोडक्ट से अभी नॉन EL प्रोडक्ट के अंदर आ गया है. अगर आप उसके अंदर ऑल्ट्रेशन कुछ करने के बाद वापस क्लाइंट को नहीं भेजने वाले हो, यानी कि आप सिर्फ अपने अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए या कुछ रिटर्न फाइलिंग के लिए कुछ आप ले रहे हो, तो फिर बाद में आपको कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेकिन अगर आप क्लाइंट को वापस ये डेटा दोगे, ओके, तो वापस उसको भी माइग्रेट करना होगा. और वहां पे 3 स्टेप्स में लिखा रहेगा कि पहले ये EL प्रोडक्ट में था, बाद में वो नॉन EL प्रोडक्ट में गया था, और ये वापस EL प्रोडक्ट में आएगा. तो ये सारा ट्रैकिंग जरूर होगा.
ओके, दैट इज द थिंग.
या सो आप ओपन कर पाएंगे फर्स्ट. ओके, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. और आपका दूसरा भी क्वेश्चन था कि आपका क्रोनोलॉजी क्या होगा अगर मैं बैक डेट के अंदर ट्रांजैक्शन पास करूं या समथिंग ऑल्टरेशन करूं. सिस्टम डेट चेंज करके मैं कर सकता हूं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी. टैली भी अगर लेट्स से कि आज मैं मेरा सिस्टम डेट 3 मार्च कर देता हूं और फिर बाद में मैं कोई ट्रांजैक्शन ऑल्टर कर देता हूं, ओके, तो वो डेट 3 तारीख का ही दिखाई देगा, लेकिन उसका वर्जन बाद का दिखेगा. लेट्स से कि क्रिएट वर्जन 1 था तो वो अल्टरेशन वर्जन 2 ही दिखेगा.
ओके.
तो टैली विल नॉट सॉर्ट बेस्ड अपॉन द डेट्स, टैली विल सॉर्ट बेस्ड अपॉन the versions, and that's why this version has been given more importance. Okay, क्योंकि सिस्टम डेट कभी भी चेंज हो सकता है.
जी.
तो इसके लिए अगर आपको ये डिटेक्ट करना है, किसी को भी डिटेक्ट करना है, तो ये वर्जन एंड द डेट misaligned will be tracked well in Tally. So no need to worry about that if there is any qualification you need to make for it.
Because सुदर्शन जी क्या होता है कि हमारी व्यापारियों से बात होती है तो व्यापारी बोल रहा था, बोले भैया हम डेट ही सिस्टम में चेंज कर देंगे तो क्या समझ में आएगा.
तो बात सही है. थोड़े से क्या कहते हैं कि लूप होल्स पहले सोच लेते हैं कि, लेकिन क्या होता है कि लूप होल शायद आपको बाद में भी मिले, लेकिन यहाँ पे टाली ने ये फोर्सी कर दिया था. ओके, अगर मैं आपको इंटरनेट से कोई डेट एंड टाइम आपको कैप्चर करके दूं तो आपको एवरी टाइम ऑनलाइन रहना पड़ेगा. और हमारा जो सोल्यूशन है वो ऑफलाइन वाला सोल्यूशन भी है, यानी कि बिना इंटरनेट भी चला सकते हैं आप. तो ये सब ध्यान रख के टाली ने सबसे ज्यादा टूल दिया है वर्जन के लिए, नॉट टू द क्रोनोलॉजी ऑफ द डेट एंड टाइम.
चलो, दैट्स ग्रेट.
थैंक यू सो मच.
चलिए, थैंक यू सुदर्शन जी, बहुत अच्छा बताया. और मैम एक बार वो प्लीज वो बैंक स्टेटमेंट को कैसे इंपोर्ट करते हैं प्लीज बताइएगा ना.
आई कैन ट्राई. एक्चुअली उसके लिए भी एक सेपरेट सेशन हो सकता है.
चलिए, आप देख लीजिएगा जब भी टाइम मिले. मतलब वो एक
sorry Sonal, to interrupt, Snehal and they are time and again asking you that bank statement import. 2 conditions today you have to remember. First, you go to the master, समझो कि you are having account with Bank of Baroda. There you have to enable auto bank reconciliation. That is the first condition.
Yeah, I will simply show parallelly what.
So just showcase them the steps, you know. So the ledger, if the bank ledger is whatever, there you have to enable. Second, bank में से जो भी statement आते हैं period wise, say month on month you are downloading, it should be either in Excel format or CSV format.
You need to ensure that all these details are correctly fetched, bank detail, IFSC code, everything. Now select your bank from this drop down list. This mapping need to be done correctly.
Because Tally is capturing from Excel the account number and bank details, right?
Now simply mark here, yes, enable auto reconciliation. Here you can specify the bank statement path. This bank statement you can download from your net banking.
Yes.
So Tally has a facility of mapping all the bank statement, like it has already integrated with all the banks. So the format of Excel which you are downloading from your online net banking, that statement will be supported here. So once you fetch all this detail, account number, IFSC code, everything, and enabling the auto reconciliation, simply save it. Now, just come to the banking menu, bank reconciliation and Bank of India. Here you need to import bank statement and specify the path. Once you specify the path, then after you can have live reconciliation, like link the transaction, unlink the transaction. You can even post new voucher, like particular voucher is there in the bank statement, not in Tally. Simply create voucher by clicking Alter J. I think so. You can try, and in case of query, you can contact to Vanda ma'am. She would be right person to guide you. Vanda ma'am, would you like to add anything into this?
Yeah, thank you. Just press O again once.
Press O.
Alto.
Okay, Alt O. Huh.
And a bank state. Huh.
Huh.
Here we have to understand E is important. Tally is also giving you yes and no answer. If once and then IMP character will be added. The second statement has been already imported. I think your data contains that bank account probably because this is important.
Yes, but
I know you have not worked on it, but that's fine. But it is already showcasing. So we have to understand that Tally has all internal controls in place. Moment you import the voucher, it will make that file. Yes, it is important.
Okay.
That all need taken care by the Tally. And another thing I wanted to add on for the e-audit log, whichever is come, no. So our evangelization as well as Darshan and everyone has depicted. The question was that the moment now you go to release 2.1 because it is also having digital signature. Okay. And
right.
And good you showed कि normal Tally Prime उसमें अलग अलग रिलीज आते ही जाएंगे. आपको एडिट लॉग अगर एनेबल करना है तो ही आपको करना है. सो अनिल सर का क्या क्वेश्चन था, डेटा खाली रिव्यू करना है तो आप आपके उसमें आपके टेली प्राइम में खोल के देख सकते हो, रिव्यू कर सकते हो, बट योर वर्जन शुड बी मैचिंग विद द लेटेस्ट वर्जन ऑफ देम, राइट, द क्लाइंट्स वर्जन. एंड यू डोंट नीड टू द वे दर्शन सेड अल्टर बिल्कुल मत करो. अगर अल्टरेशन करना भी है आप आपके वहां करते हो तो मार्क वाउचर को एनेबल करो F11 में जाके. So whatever vouchers you are creating, there will be one report of mark voucher. वो exception report में या GST report में भी mark voucher का एक report. तो वो पूरा बाद में आप उनको XML के थ्रू एक्सपोर्ट करो या उनको डायरेक्टली बता दो एक्सेल में एक्सपोर्ट करके. They should enter in their Tally itself और उनका जो भी सिस्टम लॉग रहेगा तो वहां पे ट्रांजैक्शन अपने आप रिकॉर्ड होगी क्योंकि MCA wants uninterrupted audit trail. So you can't switch off and switch on. That is why Tally came out with the two EXE. One is MCA related EXE and one is normal. तो उन्होंने क्या बोला कि हम एडिट लॉग का फीचर लेके आए ही है, which is requirement of the MCA. But suppose कि normal company also want better compliance. समझो हमारा प्राइवेट लिमिटेड नहीं है, प्रोप्राइटरी कंसर्न है या पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म है, बट आपको कंप्लायंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, यू आर हैविंग मोर देन 20 crore 30 crore turnover, you want to have an internal control, then you can implement edit log feature which is available in the normal Tally also. That is what only beneficial provision in normal Tally is that you can disable enable whenever you want to switch on. It is like a toggle key, like so in between period when you have switched off you will not have a trail. Moment you switch on, the trail will be there. And the version that the Darshan said, it will be like something. Today is 23rd of March. So you did the transaction today, and the same transaction आप system date change करके भी 20 तारीख करके करोगे तो वो version 2 में आ जाएगा. So it itself will tantamount that someone has peddled with the data. Data को misbehave करा जाए. And the whole purpose is only that ना. I want to keep trail. Version change मतलब क्या हुआ? Tally is showing you क्या क्या corrections हुआ है. So there will be typographical error. 5250 was mentioned as 5520. So or you have a proper narration. Only now we are asking Tally to come out with some remarks column. If modification, then why? You know, some reason should be if allowed at all. So that is what we have asked for the upgrade in if at all release में upgradation में कुछ चाहिए तो. So in and all, it is very fantastic. Second, if you can just help me out, Sonal, with the 2 minutes taking. आप शेयर स्क्रीन करेंगे और वो मुझे टैली में कुछ बताना था उनको, जो ऑडिट आप दिखा रहे थे ना मॉड्यूल।
राइट राइट, ये रे टैली स्क्रीन दिख रही है राइट।
हाँ, अभी एस्केप करके आप गेटवे ऑफ टैली पे चले जाइए। हाँ, वहां से डिस्प्ले अकाउंट बुक्स, अकाउंट बुक्स में देखो नीचे वाउचर क्लैरिफिकेशन है।
हाँ,
दिस इज फॉर द क्लाइंट नीड टू आंसर हियर। तो आपकी वो डेमो कंपनी खोलो जिसमें आपने उनको क्वेरी रेज की थी, तो इट विल बी डिस्प्लेड हियर टू देम।
ओके।
सो पीरियड जो पीरियड में क्वेरी रेज की थी ना आपकी, वो देख लो आपका वो पीरियड है कि नहीं स्क्रीन पे। उसमें डेटा 2010 से ही है ना आपका। देखो ऊपर 21 to 22 है, तो यू मेक अ पीरियड अप्रैल 10, मेरे ख्याल से 10 का डेटा है ना कि 20 का डेटा है, 19 में। हाँ, તમે જોઈ લો ને, you just check ऑडिट में कहाँ था डेटा। So the audit they have made foolproof transactions, you know। आपका जो मैनुअल सैंपल वाला था ना, वो कौन से पीरियड में था?
हाँ, वो दूसरा बैकअप था, पर मैं यहाँ पे ही कर देती हूँ ऑडिट।
हाँ, करो कुछ एक्सटर्नल वेरिफिकेशन। हाँ, तो अपने को समझ में आ गए। The whole process gets completed when you go there and check account books में।
Ma'am, so
just a
sorry
second.
to interrupt.
Just one
Just we are
second.
falling short of time.
बस just
So
this way. See, transaction मतलब ऑडिटर ने कब मांगा था, डेट के साथ आता है इसमें कि मुझे क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहिए। अंडरस्टूड?
ओके ओके ओके।
एंड सपोज के दे आर ऑल्टरिंग द वाउचर, यहाँ पे वो आंसर भेज देगा कि मैंने मेल कर दिया फलाना दिन का, तो वो निकल जाएगा। अभी आप जाओ डैशबोर्ड ऑफ ऑडिटर,
एक सेकंड है,
तो वहां पे वो दिखाता है कि दिस वाज आस्क्ड फॉर एंड द आंसर आई गॉट, यू नो।
तो नाउ आई गो टू डिस्प्ले
एनालिसिस एंड वेरिफिकेशन एंड वाउचर वेरीफाई, तो क्लैरिफाई देखो ऊपर डैशबोर्ड में दिखता है आपको। अंडरस्टूड? तो हाँ,
ओके, गॉट इट मैम, परफेक्ट।
सो दिस इज अ फुल साइकिल यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन यू आर डूइंग द ऑडिट for from the using Tally, you know।
Right, perfect, thank you so much.
Okay dear.
yeah, to the audience, I think just we'll take one last question, and just as I can see that the questions are following, so what we can do is in our next CA Connect we can do a full session on Tally Prime Edit Log and 2.1. And so for the last question, Mr. Kuthalingam, if you want to ask your question.
Yeah, thank you for the good presentation. The question is, now we are checking as an auditor, checking through online now. Now that also is getting noted or not? In the audit trial, what auditor has seen also is noted, or when he has seen it is noted or not?
Very good question. Darshan,
are you getting my point?
Yes,
No,
yes,
I didn't
we got it. We got it.
Second point number 2.
Edit log में वो noting होगा कि नहीं होगा?
Means what? Auditing कर रहे हैं वो audit log में noting होगा?
That is what I'm asking, no? तो नहीं होगा क्योंकि
edit log because that is
Sir,
not.
Can you speak in English, please, madam?
Yes. Basically, sir, this will not be part of audit log because it is not altering the transaction. What audit you are doing is just for your purpose.
Okay. So when I'm checking the books, that is right now not available, right?
Right. Right now available checking of the books, but that will not form part of audit log.
Yeah. Right now only with respect to the changes has taken place in the accounts, either by accountant or somebody else.
Right. Perfect, sir.
And as an auditor, we are not supposed to do any change in the entries. If you do that, that is also getting noted.
Right.
So, and for the other members which have raised an issue about the client coming late, my only suggestion is right now we will get trail not only for audit trail of the companies, but also others, because shortly it will also follow. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Any further pressing query? Can you raise your hand again? Ashok ji, do you want to take the question?
Hello.
Yeah, Ashok ji, a bit louder, please.
मैम आवाज आ रही है अब?
हाँ, आवाज आ रही है, but थोड़े धीरे आ रही है.
अच्छा, ठीक है. मैम मैं पूछ रहा था, टैली प्राइम में 1/4/2022 से हम बैक डेटेड एंट्री पास कर सकते हैं कंपनी के केस में?
बैकडेटेड एंट्री पोस्ट करोगे तो उसका लॉग रहेगा,
तो उससे कोई दिक्कत आएगी क्या?
ऐसे कोई दिक्कत नहीं आनी चाहिए। बैकडेटेड वाउचर्स में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ओनली थिंग इज दैट इट विल बी लॉग्ड एंड आपके बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स क्लोज हो जाएगी, उसके बाद एंट्री पोस्ट मत करना। लाइक अभी तो मार्च है, तो देयर आर मेनी कंपनीज हु वुड बी पोस्टिंग बैकडेटेड एंट्री, दैट वुड नॉट क्रिएट एनी इशू।
हम जैसे 10 अप्रैल की एंट्री 20 अप्रैल को की जा रही है, तो इसमें क्या दिक्कत है?
कोई इशू नहीं है उसमें।
ओके, थैंक यू।
There will be, Sonal, sorry to interrupt. There will be example. My accountant comes once in a week and he's passing the entry for that week. Or bank statement comes at the end of the month, for example. So there will be so many accountants who will be parking the entry. See, people have to understand that once your accounts are freeze, if your private limited and your balance sheet is signed, then you can go and alter the vouchers. Keeping track, what NCA is asking is that you should not change the audited books of accounts. Alterations till that date, whatever you are doing, and if your auditor is raising the query, you are able to justify why there was a change in the transaction. There is no harm. People are misinterpreting two things together. देखो accounts है तो मैंने I also gave the example कि 6250 I can write 6520. So that alteration, so it is Tally is giving you the log. Similarly, when auditor finds out some error based on the physical document punching error होती है तो corrections होता है. So before the audited accounts are put in the public domain, prior to that जो भी corrections addition होती है, it should be supported with the evidences or there should be genuine reasoning. So it is not a crime that you can't do entries, but alteration after the signing is not viable. अच्छा अभी कोई बोलते हैं scrutiny आ जाएगी इनकी.
I'm sorry, Vanna ma'am. I actually have another session pressing in the Zoom calls. I will have to end this session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable inputs. The people who are asking this, who wants to see the video will be available in a day or two in our community page, community.tallysolutions, or you can also go to our YouTube channel, Tally CA Connect. All the prior videos of Tally CA Connect are available. And a very important thing just before I conclude is to say a huge vote of thanks to CA Sonal Jain for continuing our session even beyond 20 minutes. That only says that how competently she had answered all the queries. Thanks a lot, Darshan, for answering questions in the chat box and Q&A. Thank you all for being here even till now. So I will definitely make that on the next session of Weekly CA Connect, we will cover this topic in detail so that all the queries are answered. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope I have done some other value addition. Thank you Tally Prime for giving this opportunity. Thank you Komal, Vanna ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Sonal ma'am. Thank you.